let's kick this show off the road. Is that a thing? Is that a saying?
Let's kick the tires on like the fires. Was that Independence Day?
Let's yeah, exactly.
I believe we say flow with us.
Flow it. Oh, that's
with us.
yeah. Screw up. State of flow. We're in a state of flow on this podcast.
Luca De La Torre, the hometown player, and we're back in business.
Welcome into the first ever episode of the official SDFC Podcast. I'm Kaila Burns-Hefner here with Sal Zizo and Marvell. So happy to be here. Welcome into the show. How's it going, guys?
I'm doing well. Super excited to be here, obviously with Marvell and you, and just excited to kick this off and interview some players and coaches and get their insights a little bit.
This is probably one of my dreams. I mean, once I was done playing, even growing up here playing with Sal and all that stuff, I always wanted to be part of, a team in San Diego. You know what I mean? And if I can do this as well as, hang out with the players, talk to the coaches, hang out with you guys, I mean, I couldn't think of a better place to be.
Sitting here at this table, there's 20 years of MLS experience between the two of you. Can you just give a little deep dive of the background of your soccer experience?
Yeah. So Marv and I actually grew up playing together, club soccer, and then went on to play at UCLA for a year, and then kind of went our separate ways, and then we're enemies on the field ever since then. But I actually got him a red card once. He was nasty tackle. I mean, nasty tackle.
It was not.
But
cue the tape.
Yeah, exactly. No, but yeah, played in Germany for 3 years, Bundesliga, then came to the MLS for 9 years, retired, and then played in the USL for 2 years. So yeah, been all over. Had a great career, but I'm happy to be here contributing to this organization and this franchise any way possible.
Yeah. Yep. Marvell win again. Played with Sal a little bit back then. What is it? Hotspurs back in the day. Yeah. What would you say? See what happened to me. Drafted number 1 overall out of UCLA in 2006.
Whoop, whoop.
Olympics in 2008. 2010 MLS Cup champion with the Rapids. 4 caps for the national team, and then got out of that biz in 2017. But so happy to be back here. I travel around a little bit, but there's no place like home, and it's good to be with you, Kaila.
Great to be with you guys as well. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm excited also too for you guys, two San Diego guys, being able to be a part of this podcast and seeing this project come to life. I wanted to hear from you. What has been your experience being able to see San Diego FC join this community?
Dude, it's been awesome. Ever since they announced it, right from day one, it's like an MLS team is finally arriving. It's been so, talked about for so long, and I felt like it was a matter of time that was never coming. So now that it's come, I was sitting there watching that first home game, in the stands, kind of just taking it all in, and it was almost like a wow, like this is finally here, right, in San Diego. So it's just really cool. It's just cool now. I have young kids. I'm gonna be taking them to games, and it's another local team to be a fan of. Much like I grew up watching the Padres and the Chargers, who now have moved on to LA. Boo. But but the Padres, they're still important to me, and I'm a huge fan. And now this is another team in San Diego, along with the sport that I grew up playing and played as a professional. So yeah, for me, it's super special.
Yeah, there's nothing to having a local team to be a part of. Going to the watch parties, going to the stadium, seeing the SDFC jerseys, the hats, the scarves. It's just such a feeling that I wish I had growing up. Growing up, who thought that there'd be an MLS team in San Diego? There was all the other sports teams, but not a soccer team. So now since finally here, this feels like, it feels like we were a part of this. Like we deserved this as we were growing up and all that stuff. I'm in my mind, I'm going to say we trailblazed this.
We're trailblazers here.
In no way is that validated at all, but this is something I want to feel, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I want to know, Kaila, how has San Diego treated you so far? Like coming in, moving here, how have you adjusted?
San Diego's been an absolute dream. This has been something that I've wanted to be a part of for so long since it was announced. I love expansion projects. I had the opportunity prior to my time here. I was at Cincinnati, and before that, I was at ESPN for a while. And when I was at ESPN, I had the opportunity to be able to cover the launch of Charlotte FC, and being able to see just kind of the energy behind expansion projects. and then be able to get to see what it looks like here in a community that I've always wanted to be a part of. I've always wanted to make my way out here. And so being able to see it all come to life and the energy around it has been incredible.
Yeah. So the SB you were holding, that's expansion, or were you part of, you got an SB? We're sitting there talking about ourselves.
No.
What was that? Huh? You know something?
Bringing back the SB days. Yeah. No, I was fortunate enough to be on the Monday Night Football crew my last season there that ended up winning an SB. So
That's sweet.
Or SB.
Congrats.
Not even an SB, it's an Emmy.
Oh,
Great.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Marv, what is wrong with you,
I'm
dude?
so sorry.
My God.
Cut this.
Apologies.
SB.
SB, no.
Come on, man. It's an Emmy.
Yeah. So that was a good part of my career. But I'm really happy to be here and get to be a part of telling this story about what it means to San Diego to have this team here and growing everything that it means to have Right to Dream be a part of this as well. We'll hear a lot about that in this episode, what that means to this community. So I want to hear from you guys, though. What has been your favorite moment so far?
Man, probably that opening game for me, like that opening game at Snapdragon, being there, kind of seeing the pregame festivities, the build up to all that, even, walking in the stadium and seeing some kids that I went to high school with that were like, oh, Sal, I know you're watching the game. Oh, this guy played for a pro for 15 years. Just seeing like people from San Diego and just be super excited about soccer, like in this city. We've always had it a little bit, but this feels like, like the peak, right? You can't get bigger for a professional team in this city. So, I would say that moment for me.
And besides looking into Frank's eyes, I would say
You'll see that soon.
You'll see that soon. I would say it would have to be Anders' first goal. I was there at the watch party at Mavericks in PB, and first of all, I was one of the people waiting in line around the block waiting to get in, which who likes waiting in lines? But when it's a group of people that are all there for the same purpose as you, and it's just a feeling of love throughout, and then sitting at the bar, seeing the goal go in, and everyone just cheering and having just pure jubilation was a feeling that I hadn't experienced in years, and it threw me back. It was so much fun.
There was so much joy in those clips that we saw from the watch party, as well as being there, being grateful enough to be able to cover that moment and seeing the excitement there. I think the only way that I can describe what happened in that moment just felt like magic. It just felt like so much excitement, so much build up. There's 1,000 fans in the stands cheering on that team. So being able to kind of bring that moment to San Diego, I'm sure is going to mean a lot to Anders, and you'll get to hear about that a little bit more in the end of this episode. It's really obviously extremely important for the city. So every week, every Wednesday, you'll be able to catch us talking about recapping the matches that's happened before, previewing the upcoming match, and we'll also bring on special guests, can be club members, players, staff, assistant coaches, to be able to kind of give their story and their insight into everything SDFC.
Yeah, super excited. We're going to get to know these people more on a personal level and get them to kind of open up and talk, right? Sometimes when they're talking to the general media, it's very scripted. It feels at least sometimes too scripted. And so now, we have Frank and Anders and other guests that are going to come on, and we're going to let them kind of talk and feel free and, feel like they're talking to us, but also talking to the fans.
Yeah, and we're also going to get their opinions on the games that have been played, what they look forward to, how they think they played, and coaches, what do they want on the field and all that stuff. So we're actually going to be able to, get a little peek behind the curtain in terms of performances, as well as the personalities themselves. We want it to be a relaxed environment, so you can feel as connected as we do, and we're all in this together.
So much more to come. We'll have player interviews, club staff, assistant coach interviews, people joining us to recap matches, preview matches. In this episode specifically, we have an interview with Anders Dreyer coming up, first goal scorer in SDFC history.
Yeah.
We also have some analysis from Frank Hjortebjerg, assistant coach for SDFC. So much more. Please stay tuned. As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions. Hello, we're here with Frank Hjortebjerg, our assistant coach for San Diego FC. How are you doing today?
I'm a little warm after training. It was a hot one today, but otherwise I'm good.
Welcome into the first episode of the San Diego FC, the official San Diego FC podcast. Frank, can you just give us a little bit of an insight on your background and kind of your journey into coming here to San Diego FC?
Sure. So I'm from Denmark, and I'm 37 years old. And so I've been coaching in Denmark for many years. And I think one of the reasons why I ended up here was that I've been at FC Nordsjælland over 2 periods and across 4.5 years with both academy teams and also with the first team. Then I had a short spell at another Danish club before coming here. So that's like probably the football reason why I'm sitting here and now involved in this very exciting project. Apart from that, I've been studying sports science at the university in Denmark and coaching both, like I said, at the academy level and also at the first team level.
Your experience and your familiarity with FC Nordsjælland and obviously the right to dream style of play, how has that helped you with being able to install that here in San Diego?
Yeah, I think it's been of course very, very helpful because as a lot of you guys obviously know, probably also the listeners know that our style of play is very important. It's like a cornerstone of the whole project and what we do every day. So of course, having that experience of playing that way, training that way, developing players for that style of play is of course a valuable experience to have. And then we brought in a bunch of very, very brilliant guys to support all of that and also make it its own. Because despite we have a very distinct style of play and a very distinct way of doing things, and the organization have done that for many, many years, and it's a huge competitive advantage, we also need to make it San Diego on its own, with everything that has, from the community to the players we have here to the league. And that's also brand new for me. So it's about taking the best of what has built this great organization for many years and then building upon that.
Yeah, so you talk about the right to dream way and the style of play, right? Like the viewer watching a game knows, right? A lot of possession, keep the ball, play through the middle, these little things. But like, can you take us more into like a deep dive of what actually is the style of play, the right to dream way that you guys,
Sure.
brought over here from Denmark?
So one of the key pillars is that it's built to develop players for top level.
Okay.
So the style of play is always defined by what we think the top teams will do, not now, but actually in 5 years' time.
Okay.
So that's like a cornerstone of the style of play, is that we want to make the guys play in a way where we think we will give them the best chance of developing them into top players.
Okay.
So it's based on a lot of initiative, trying to impact the game in our favor in every phase of the game, not only with the ball but also without the ball. It needs to be with a lot of decision making, a lot of analyzing on the pitch, a lot of reading patterns and different situations. In order to play very fast, you need to be put in a situation multiple times, and that's where the training comes into play.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that everything we do on the training pitch resembles situations that we want in the game, that we want in our style of play, in order to play fast, both with and without the ball. But really a cornerstone is that it's for developing players for top level.
Okay.
That's the whole starting point of the style of play.
Yeah. And that kind of ties into why you guys are so focused on, the youth in the academies and building them up from there, right? Because if you're able to teach them a lot of these things early in their career, then they become the top players that you're speaking about.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what we say is, right now that's not the case here, but it will soon be, that the first team is the oldest academy team, right?
Yeah.
Because we do everything in the same way. And we need to get academy players ready so that whenever they get their debut, it feels the same. It might go a little faster.
Yeah.
The spaces might be a little tighter. Yeah. But the structure is the same. The principles is the same. So if we get good enough at the academy side, we will also be able to integrate them faster.
Yeah. That's what I think a lot of, fans maybe don't know yet is just how important the academy piece is gonna be for SDFC, right? We're just building that off the ground now. So, how is it different from right now, right? You've had to build this team and be competitive in the first year, right? Without kind of that style where you're bringing the youth directly in from the academy where they've had 2-3 years of experience. Now you've brought in players, right?
Yeah.
From Denmark that are used to this style. How is that different than where it's been before?
So for sure, it's a bigger challenge because here it's a lot of people at the same time needing to
learn the whole thing. Yeah.
Learn that.
Yeah.
And not only just know about it, but feel about it, also do it in a way where we can compete.
Yeah.
And usually what you do at FCN or different clubs that does some similar thing is when you bring a young guy in, he's maybe one out of 2 or 3 of the young guys trying to get integrated. But here it was everyone at the same time, plus including a coaching staff.
Yeah.
Including the whole medical side of things, the whole performance department. So that was just made the challenge way bigger.
Yeah. And that's why you're so important, right? Someone that in the coaching side has dealt with that and played at that style of play, right?
At least I have some experience, but every aspect of that is just important because we need to accelerate the development into that style of play so we can compete in the first game.
Yeah, with only in a couple of months. I mean, you bring in a bunch of new players together that have been playing together for the first time only for a couple of months, trying to all get this right mindset. So if you've worked with the academy, you've worked with professional players that have been pro for several years, which group of players do you believe can adapt quicker? Is it the youth players that are just growing up and learning how to play this style of play, or the older players that have experience, they know how to play around with the ball, they know how to pass and all that stuff, but it might be a little bit adverse to what they're used to? Because when we were growing up, we would don't play the ball into pressure. The Direct of Dream style of play is bring the pressure on, learn how to play through it, out it, and break them apart.
Yeah, so usually, and now it becomes very black and white, right? But usually you could say like an older player with more experience, he's very set in all his habits on the pitch, right? So he's been doing things that he's done for more than 20 years, scanning in a certain way, looking for a certain pass in a certain way, positioning himself in a certain way. So usually what you do is you will have to need to break that down at one point first, and then rebuild it again with the new principles. But every player is different. So for some, it feels very, very natural. So some older players can be a part of this project and very quickly adapt and know, okay, I can actually move this way. This actually fits me perfect.
Yeah, fits their style.
It fits their style, or it just makes sense because of the way they are moving and thinking and are put together as a person. But in general, you say it's harder for one that's had more experience and more set in his movement patterns and his way of analyzing the game than a younger player who's not done it for as many hours.
Yeah, and a lot of players can be very stubborn too, but the best way to get through that is, just watching SDFC play. It works. You can see the amount of possession that we've had, and it just kind of breaks teams down. Like, the longer we're on the ball, the more time they're not off the ball, the more time they start losing confidence with themselves. And then we wait and we're very patient. The way that the Right to Dream style of play is, the direct balls through the back is almost a last resort. You almost want to bring players to you, play around, play through. Is that right?
So actually, every time we can break the last line of the defenders in a constructive way, we want to do that. We want to do that. But we are probably more critical about how that looks like in a constructive way than other teams. Because we need to do it in a way where we can still be on top in the next situation. So we need to do it. So let's say, for example, we're building up with our center backs. We're getting the opponents close to us. We also bring ourselves close to us. So if we bring that ball to the last line too many times early on, we will not have players ready for the next phase of play. But of course, we can play directly in behind and have a 1v1 with the keeper. We will always look for that. But we are very critical in terms of not giving the ball away in situations where we don't have a numerical advantage or where it's not in our favor. So we want to make sure that, again, we create pictures within the game that we want. That it's not something that happened random or by coincidental. It needs to come from a structured situation that we can replicate and do again and again and again.
We're always in control. We're always running the game. The game is being played the way we want it. We don't let other teams dictate it, whether home or away. It's the way we set it up.
That's the ambition.
Yeah.
That's the ambition. So that goes into our thinking and our way of analyzing all the different games situations.
Perfect.
So take us back to going into preseason. You've got a team that has not played together, or most have not played together so far, and you're still building out the rest of the roster. What are the goals heading into preseason, and how do you manage coaching that?
Yeah, so first of all, it was about getting everyone to know about the ideas. So we show different pictures. Of course, we show some pictures from HCN games. We create pictures fast in our own trainings where we replicate the patterns and the structures that we want. And then we take it from basic principles first, both on and off the ball. And then we go into more sub-principles as the preseason develops. And also as we play the games. Because what we say is our opponent is teaching us about our own style of play, right? So when we play the preseason games, a good example can be we went to Coachella. We played against Portland, for example, and we recognized that there was something in the back line that we were struggling a little bit with. We want to have a high defensive line, but we also need to be ready to be first into the spaces behind us. So in between our last line of defense and our goalkeeper, we want to be first into those spaces, even though we have a high line. So this is where we put players into situations that at the top level, the best teams does that.
Yeah.
So the best teams are able to play with a very high line, putting the opponents under a lot of pressure, but they still control the spaces in behind them. And we recognized that we were not dropping fast enough. So we were not alert enough about the space in behind us. We had a good starting point in terms of keeping a high line because that takes some courage from the defenders especially, but we needed to adjust that a little bit. And then we tried to adjust that for the Red Bull game, for the New York game. And now we had a bit of a similar situation in the weekend where we were punished at that space in behind. So now we need to find the balance again in terms of keeping a high line, but also protecting the space.
Does some of that though, like also play into like, of course, if you're playing a high line, you turn the ball over and there's not that counter pressing ability right away. Is that when you're saying, hey, we need to be aware that drop the line a little bit, a long pass is coming from a direct team like an Austin, right? Whereas, maybe a Columbus, right? If you lost the ball in a situation, they're more about like, okay, let's keep the ball now and let's move it. Opposed to Austin, like you mentioned, like as soon as they won it, Brendan Vasquez over the top, they were that was their play against you. Do you sense that other teams now are going to say, hey, look, that's the formula against this team?
100%.
Yeah.
Of course they will do that. And we don't that's a natural dynamic of football. And that's why we say the opponents will always help us.
Yeah.
They are guiding us towards our own team development. And for some games, now you mentioned the Columbus game, it was very important that the defensive line were taking that high line, but being ready to step in front.
Yeah.
Because they really want to play in front of our line and then start the breakthroughs from there on. With Austin, it was a different case. Yeah. They really want to start it directly in behind that space. So here, the defensive line should still have the same starting point with the same principles, but then it's another space that we need to be more prepared to defend. And this is a natural development of any team that it will always be. Yeah. It will always be certain things you have to adapt throughout the season and through each game. And
you might go too far one way and then you go the other way. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the football teaching part of things.
Another question, if there was one thing, so we've had 5 games, right? If there's one thing that you're surprised with how well, the team has done and performed with, and then if there's another thing that, hey, we need to be better in this, I expected us to be better in this section, what would those 2 things be?
So I would say I'm positively surprised by the way that we, in many games, have been able to show our style of play in a clear way, not just with the ball or without the ball, but actually for most of the time in the games. Yeah. I think we've been able to create game pictures that were in our favor more often than not. early on in the process for a brand new team with brand new players. So I think we're fairly satisfied on that. We are definitely on the right track in terms of that. Then a thing that we've struggled with has been controlling these transitional moments. So finding the balance between really playing with initiative, but doing it while you still are able to control spaces either in front of you or behind you. You also mentioned those moments right when you lose the ball where we want to counter press. So these crucial moments in football where things get a bit more unstructured, but from us it should hopefully come from a structured starting point where we'll still have situations where we can win the ball back early. We need to improve a bit more on that. And I'm also learning about the league and the teams and how football is played over here. And from what I can see so far is that is really a crucial part of the league, controlling these transitional moments.
For sure.
And that's a key thing for us where we want to improve fast.
What game would you say, you mentioned that there's been some great examples of just showing the right to dream style of play. What game would you say is the most prominent example of how we play our best?
So I'll say there were situations against Columbus in the second half that I think was a high-level game. And that's also a big compliment to the way that they do things and the way they play. Because I think that game had aspects of top quality for both teams where the two teams really challenged each other in terms of having that initiative, impacting the flow in their favor, and no team was willing to give it up, right? No team was willing to say, okay, you get it, then you decide. Like both teams were really
fighting for the ball. Who was going to dictate the game?
Really fighting
on both sides.
And from what I've seen from future seasons, also again, I'm trying to learn about the league and the teams. They have really impressed me. So I think the way that we competed against them, did we have moments where we struggled? For sure we did. But I also think that we managed to step up. And at the halftime, we told our guys, like, listen, it might feel like things are starting to crumble a little bit for us, and it might feel like you're struggling. But trust us, it's not a lot that you have to change for us to get back into this game. And they really brought into that. And I think the second half, you could see, not only when of course it's easier when we're one man up, but we forced that red card, in my opinion. And also when it was 11 against 11, I think you could really see, okay, our style of play can actually compete against the best teams in this league early on.
I think in that game specifically, what adjustments you made after the first 30 minutes was recognizing their high line and saying, let's find that early transition moment in behind and turn them around. And I think that's what kind of started tipping you guys in the right direction. And then obviously the red card and everything from there changed.
So especially that aspect on the ball, clearly, that we managed to find Anders a lot of times. We created better structure in terms of attacking that last line with opposite movements, but also our pressing. So we managed to push that first point of engagement from us higher up. We managed to stress them more on the ball, and it takes a lot to stress these guys on the ball and that team. But we actually managed to do that. So I think because we did that, that gave us more time with the ball and actually made that game picture change.
Yeah, lovely.
That's good. So I've noticed also the Right to Dream sort of style of play when you guys were out there, it does appear to look very structured. Everyone seems to have a certain place they need to be at a certain time. But when you speak to the guys and you tell them to have a little bit of creativity, a little bit of fun with it, there's also variations in terms of level of comfort. When you're out there on the pitch, is it a lot of speaking to them about you need to be here at a certain time, or is it look for certain moments to play your own game and to relax a little bit when you're out there?
So it's mostly about trying to create structures that we can replicate, but it doesn't have to be you in the same spot all the time. Okay. So let's say the four of us, we want to create a certain structure out wide where one is all the time stretching the last line, one is showing for support, one is coming closer to the ball, something like that. One is keeping the width. But it doesn't have to be you in the same role all the time. But what we need is that structure.
We'll send him long every time. He's got the speed, just let him go.
You know better than me. But so it's more about making sure that we have those patterns and those principles in play Because if we know that you will always go long, then it can be very easy for the two of us or the three of us to always put you in behind, for example. But what we want is a style of play where the four of us, we are predictable enough to play fast, but it's also unpredictable for the opponent what's going to happen. Yeah. So if it's you all the time, then they'll see, okay, just beware.
Drop off.
He's running in behind. You just drop off every time he does it. But if we suddenly can have multiple players doing the same, we will know what to look for because it's the same thing that happens, but it can sometimes come from the inside.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it comes more from behind. So that is where everything we do should... the reason why we want to create certain game pictures is because it should be in our favor in terms of winning the game. So we believe if we train in a certain way and we're able to put that into play in the games, we should be better than the opponents, right? Because we used to do it. We do it more times than them.
Yeah, you've seen it.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
We tried it. We train it. We improve it. But if we give the initiative to them and they decide what kind of game picture it is, then they're probably better than us.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to, honestly, it goes back to like youth soccer, right? Like sometimes you see the decisions that some of these kids make and you're like, how can they not see to like just pull the ball back in that situation? You're not going to win it, right? And it's like, well, as players, we've been in that situation. We've seen that picture 2,000 times on the field, right? Where maybe they've seen it 30 times. So for them, they're not keen on knowing what to do in that situation. I think what you're saying basically is like the more we can put them in situations that it clicks in their head and they recognize, okay, we're in that moment on the field. Now let's do our thing.
And then another key part is, because you mentioned this about creativity. And of course, we want the players to be able to express themselves and take whatever the moment gives them. So I very often use this picture of, you guys have a driving license?
Yeah.
So you can remember the first time you stepped in a car and was going to drive. Like this one, and it was so tense, and afterward you almost had pain in your arms, right?
I was like this.
You were the special one.
Yeah, exactly.
But for some others of us, it was a different case. Like it was so tense.
Yeah.
So there was zero resources for creative thinking, right? Like mirror, shoulder.
Yes. Driving test,
drive
for sure.
Like follow all the strict rules, right?
Yes.
Now when you drive, you can be more.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? How you can turn on. You can do everything. You can have a coffee. You can really enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So we need to train in a way where when we get out and play the game, we have a little bit of that feeling because then we have the resources for those creative moments.
So familiarity breeds confidence, brings variation.
So science tells us that the more you do certain structures, the more patterns you can recognize, the less resources your central nervous system spends in terms of analyzing the situation. Because
that's football at the end of the day too, right? The more situations you've been in, the more you're gonna be able to be creative because that stuff happens naturally, right? And then now
if you will.
Yeah, there you go.
That was very elegant. But that's exactly what it's about, right? Yeah. When you're speaking about how much of it is creating leaving the guys for those creative moments, we want to do all that, but it has to come from structures where we can set it free.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Love that.
So let's look ahead to next home match at LAFC. What can you share with us so far about how you're previewing for that match?
Yeah, so today has been all about closing the Austin game down, making sure that we get all the learning out from that game that we can possibly get, because there was a lot of learning in that game. And then today we had a session with the boys who didn't play as much, really had a good session out on the pitch. And then when we meet in tomorrow, we'll start to prepare more for that game. Against a very, very strong opponent. It'll be, again, a really good challenge for us, where we will learn new things about our squad and our style of play and what we're capable of doing. So we're really looking forward to the challenge, and we really want to bounce back.
Yeah.
We want to bounce back.
I mean, and you look at a team like that too, like they have, obviously they're a possession team, but they also are really good on the counters, right? They have these speedy wingers that are going to get forward. Hollingshead's very good at getting in the box forward from the left side. So I think it'll be a good test. And obviously you said it yourself, they're going to look at the film and say, hey, this is what beat SDFC. This is what they struggled against. Let's try and replicate it, not entirely. Let's take pieces and parts of it and try to exploit them. But that's the cat and mouse game that you guys are going to have.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, there will not be a single team arriving at Snapdragon where we say, okay, these guys, we'll let them take the initiative.
Yeah.
They have to fight for it against us.
Yes.
No matter what we just faced, no matter who they are and what they do, we will push that battle. We want that battle. That's what we want to see in every game.
That, for me, that's the most impressive piece, right? Because an expansion team, I was part of an expansion team. Marv was as well. For you to put the game on your terms in the first year of the club, in the first few games, and to lead the league in possession, I mean, that says it. That says it all. That's for me already, high praise and accomplishment. But also something we talked with Anders about was, how cool is it that when the team goes a goal down, there's still that belief to stick to that style of play, and it'll come out. So even in a game where it felt like it could have got away at some point. Luca de la Torre gets that goal, and now suddenly you guys are in the game, pushing the game. And so that for me has been the most impressive piece, is just for being together in such a short time to be able to stick together in the tough moments and not just fold. For me, that's crazy how quickly that's come along.
But it is a crucial part, because every second of the game is a chance for us to express ourselves, for us to connect with the fans, with the community, and to be a clear picture of what San Diego is and what Right to Dream is. And we cannot take that for granted, and we cannot waste a second. So unluckily, we've had situations now where it's one goal down.
Yeah.
But I can assure you will see the same when we're one up or two up. We will keep pushing, because that's what we do, and that's what's really important for us.
Yeah.
One thing that I would think about, if for any opponent about to play SDFC, just the way that you speak about how you watch games and then you learn that there's something to learn from every game. Knowing that this is such a new team, and knowing that every time that you play against a team, you learn more. It's not just, we broke down here, we made mistakes here. It's, what can we learn from this situation? Would be terrifying, knowing that this team is going to progressively get better and better with each game, with each tactic that each team throws at us. And the fact that you can just come out and be 100% confident knowing that you saw this. All right, well, today you saw what would happen in Austin. You worked on that today. It's like, remember this, we fix this, and now you go into the next game more confident in themselves as well as the team, and coming together as brothers.
Yeah, because our style of play principles, they're non-negotiables. Like, they're non-negotiables. It's secure. It's a cornerstone of what all this is built on. So we will never change that, but we will adapt, and we will make sure that we are able to play different kinds of games within our principles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You mentioned the fans and the community. You're new to San Diego. What's just been your overall impression about this city, and specifically
America's
the supporters?
finest city,
And,
the best
what you've
city in the
experienced.
country.
I haven't been to that many, but I really have it as my favorite so far.
You don't need to go there. Honestly, you don't need to go
We're
there.
here.
No, it's been really great. Of course, we can feel the whole vibe in the city. We definitely can feel the vibe in the stadium, and it's something that really means a lot to us. It's something that Mikey speaks about every time he has the chance to speak for the team. So everyone that's involved in the stadium or supports us in the town, they should all know that it really matters, and we can really feel it.
That's great.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Well,
Thank you.
Frank, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I absolutely love that. Like, the whole breaking down of the philosophy, and just how much do we wish that we had that back in the day. I mean, before, growing up, it was just more like, you play a certain position, you do a certain thing, like you have your one spot and that's it. Let alone, this is a whole team experience, a whole team effort. So you know what they're doing, they know what you're doing, and then you can just almost make up for other teams' lapses, or you can help them play the best that they can by supporting them, and just the whole just idea
Yeah.
of being one.
Marv was
obsessive.
falling in love. I think he was Googling how to change his birth certificate to 10 years younger so he could play out here.
Marv DeBeer.
I mean, and Marv actually had a full beard at 16 anyway, so he could probably pull it off.
Had the,
Yeah. Oh, you had the
this
stash?
one had the stash, and this
Oh,
it wouldn't
okay,
connect right here. It wasn't the
Yeah.
best.
No, but yeah, no, honestly, what he had to say was just, it was really cool to see how detailed, right, the whole Right to Dream way is, because I think sometimes, like Marv mentioned, like when we played, it's gotten more and more detailed, some of these philosophies that teams have. And, it's now come to this, but I don't think it's like over the top. I think they're doing it in a good way, because I think what he said, which was kind of an important piece, was like soccer changes every 5 years. Marv and I were talking about it before, like, pressing was super in, and then certain formations become really popular for a few years. And so, what Frank was alluding to was like, look, we're trying to almost predict of how our team's going to start playing in the next 5 years, and start to adapt that now, which I thought was like really cool. And obviously they were going to start that with the young academies so that they're, off and running. And, they've shown the commitment to playing young players, right? They just debuted a 16-year-old this past weekend in Austin. So, they followed through with everything they've said, and it is really cool to see in San Diego.
Agreed. It's like they also have a realistic output, knowing that there's going to be mistakes in every game and whatnot. So as opposed to teams saying, we're going to play this way and it's going to be perfect. If we play our way, then we're never going to be under pressure. Everything's going to go well. But this way, it's, be familiar with pressure coming at you, and this is how you play out of it comfortably. And then you can just go about it, and everything's on our terms. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
We heard a little bit from Frank about what to expect in LAFC. I want to hear from you guys. What are you thinking about this big matchup in the Western Conference this weekend?
Yeah, look, for me, LAFC has been kind of a perennial top team in the MLS. And in a lot of ways, right, like SDFC wants to have the type of success that LAFC had right off the bat. And so, like, it's a cool game, right? There's still that LA-San Diego rivalry. But when we're talking tactics on the field, this is also like a game that is going to test SDFC in a lot of ways, right? I think you saw against Austin when a team played direct, when a team, and I wouldn't say Austin was necessarily like, that's their style, Austin, right? Is that like direct play to a big target forward, where I think LAFC is a little bit more calculated with their counterattacks. They're still, they're more of a, they're still a possession team, right? They're still top 10 in possession, whereas Austin's towards the bottom. But they do have some speedy wingers. They have some guys that can really test the back line of SDFC. And so you heard Frank talk about it. Like, that's a talking point. That's always going to be, a tough thing when you play a high line, is how good are we counter pressing, not allowing that pass behind, but then how quickly can we adjust to drop maybe a second or half second earlier to win those foot races between the goalkeeper and your back line.
Yeah, there might be a full gamut of the way MLS teams play within these last 3 games, with Columbus being very possessive, wanted to just basically dribble the way into a goal. Austin kind of just wanted to go over the top and get it. LAFC does have a good little balance of it. Yeah. They'll possess the ball, but they look to release at the right time. So they're very patient, but I think it's also going to be a very physical game. I think it's going to be, a couple elbows thrown, a few shoulders, but I think we're up to the challenge for sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to see out of this match?
I mean, for me, it's just another test. Like SDFC is just like, for me, passed so many tests. Like, I'm, every weekend I'm like, oh, now they play Columbus though, and Columbus is a possession team, and then, hey, look, like, they tied, of course, but everyone will tell you that Columbus plays a style of football that is, revered just from teams outside of the MLS. They're like, wow, Columbus plays a nice way. And so SDFC was able to put it on their terms in that game, granted the red card and whatnot. But, and then Salt Lake, going on the road, that first game, the test was on the road against Galaxy. So there's always like these little tests. That's kind of what I look at. And LAFC is another test. I mean, somewhat of maybe there's going to be like a rivalry start to come out of this, like LA, San Diego, obviously Galaxy's there too. So you might have a little bit of both, but it's just, how do you bounce back now? There's another test. How do you bounce back from your first loss? True. Right? I mean, that's not easy for a lot of teams to do in the MLS, is how do you keep it to where things don't start spiraling out of control and the belief stays? And honestly, I have full confidence that they'll get out of this, in a good way.
whether it's boring or not to say, I almost want to see a lot of the same. I mean, what we are doing does work. What we are doing is just really annoying teams with the amount of possession that we have, and then knowing when they're leads, getting our shots off, and also we're not one to panic. Like going down against Austin, we've gone down before, but it's not a time where we believe, we have to hurry up and make up for it because we're losing. We don't want to keep losing. It's just take our time. We're comfortable. We've been here before.
Yeah.
And the amount of confidence that we have, it appears to be that every player has on the pitch is what we want to see throughout the year. Again, an expansion side coming out within the first 5 games with this record, with this amount of possession, I can only see things getting better. And I think every single game, no matter the opponent, we're going to see us playing like the way we do, and it just become more crisp, and we get more chances, even more possession, and then more points.
Yeah. Like that, Marv.
I'd like to see what the stadium looks like after a home win.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, and we haven't seen that yet, for sure. And so that's going to be a cool moment in SDFC history. And very, very possible. It'd be cool to see it too. Like I said, like after a time where maybe they took a step back a little bit in a game, not really. I mean, in a result way, I guess you can say, but it'd be cool to see them bounce back against our rival up north.
I wouldn't mind our first ever win being in LA versus an LA team, and our first ever win at home being against an LA team.
Oh, that's kind of good.
I'm one of those guys that's in the fans. I mean, my hand's gonna hurt. I'm a high fiver, like going all around me and all that sort of stuff. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to all.
Yeah,
of
that'd be cool too. I like that. First franchise win on the road and at home against 2 different LA teams. It's kind of cool.
So we've got LAFC this weekend, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. FanFest opens up at 3:30, so make sure you're there. We have a really cool activation brought to you by our friends at Sharp Healthcare. The first 15,000 fans in the stadium will receive a free hat. You will see that in our next interview, being worn by Anders Dreyer, winger for San Diego FC, the first goal scorer in San Diego FC history. So stay tuned. Become a season ticket member with San Diego FC and never miss a moment with guaranteed access to all home matches. Memberships start at just $40 per match, and you get the best value with amazing benefits. Visit sandiegofc.com/memberships to learn more. All right, we're here with Anders Dreyer, winger for San Diego FC, the first goal scorer in San Diego FC history. How's it been so far for you here in San Diego?
On and off the pitch, it's been good so far. Of course, on the pitch with some good results for the team, myself included, personally with goals. And then off the pitch with the nice weather, and I love the city already. And so far so good, and I'm just very happy. And I just can't wait for more games and like more days at the facilities here and in San Diego.
Yeah, so Marv and I, we grew up in San Diego, so it was our dream to have an MLS team here in San Diego. So like, we're super jealous of you. Like that goes without saying. So like, just tell us like, what is it like playing in front of these fans, and in comparison to just playing in Europe? You've played in many different leagues. Like, what has it been like being the number 10, on SDFC?
No, I've been very, very impressed, to be honest. First of all, the MLS, the competition, the teams we played so far, I think it's good teams, and I think the level and the, how do you say, competitiveness in every squad and in our squad is good. And just to play in front of the fans. I remember the first home game. It was 35,000 people watching us playing football. It wasn't something I tried every week in the other countries where I played, because this one was very, very special. And as you said, like it's the first home game, first club, football club. And so it's amazing with the fans.
Yeah, there's a lot of fans, and players that have come through San Diego that were like just waiting for that moment. So it was cool to see, obviously, you scoring the first goal at home, not at home, first goal for the club. So it's really cool to see. But how would you compare, like, So is the perception of the MLS in Europe, is it still like, hey, you know, it's a retirement league or like the league, or is it, because I feel that's starting to shift for the last few years.
I think so
you know?
too. Like, I know what you're thinking about. Like, are people is going to the MLS because it's the last years of their career and stuff like that. But what I have seen is a lot of big players is going here, Danish players as well, as I played with and against. Also, guys I played with in other clubs, like Evander is also here and doing amazing. And I think like also the level is quite high.
Yeah, and it's better than what most people probably think before coming here.
I agree. And maybe also what I thought, but that's always when you see something from abroad and then you are like, they're written this and this, and maybe it's like that, but you have to try it yourself before you can really say how it is. And I'm very, very like positive. It's been a nice start so far with, of course, the club, San Diego, but also the league, to see how busy it is on game days, and it's just big. Also away trips, it's different. So what I came from in Belgium, I would compare it as good as that. And of course I would say it's better than the Danish league.
Yeah, nice.
Good. That's some stuff that we love to hear. And so, switching. There's some stuff that we love to hear. So the fans definitely have your back. I mean, they're loving SDFC. They're loving that we have a team out here and everything. So after scoring your goal over there up in LA, did you see other fans out there that traveled for you?
Amazing. I think it was over 1,000 people in that corner. It's still a moment I will never forget. I think it was unbelievable, and I think I first recognized it like maybe after the game how big it was, with so many fans away, and first game of the history for the club, and to be a part of that is just amazing to write that story. And I think it will be maybe someday when I stop playing football and I really look at things I've done and so on so far, then this is maybe one of the biggest things so far.
Well, I love that, and I hope so, because you are etched in history.
Exactly.
This can never be taken back.
No.
This can never be changed. You are SDFC history, and we love it. We're happy for you.
I'm also very, very happy, and that's what I mean. Like, I think the day I stop maybe playing football and I look back at it and I'm like, okay, it will be like my name, like as the first goal scorer and stuff like that. But just as a team to play, and we have been waiting so long for that game with preseason, and then finally it came and we won, and that was just amazing.
You guys, from what I can tell, like, look, going into the season, a lot of the people that talk in MLS, they're like, it's SDFC, 15th in the West, this and that. And you guys have, like, proved them wrong, not only just results-based, right, but, like, also your guys' style of play. People are, like, already falling in love with it. Like, you guys are constantly proving, like, having a lot of qualities that, like, good teams have through the course of the season, right? Whether it's winning on the road, right? Check mark. Winning against the former MLS Cup champions, you know, so many things. So, like, can you touch on, like, coming into the season, like, what were your guys' expectations as a team? You know, like, we've been on teams, you keep it internal, you kind of know the quality you guys have. Did you guys ignore that stuff, or did that stuff kind of motivate you guys a little bit?
No, I think, like, I also heard about that. Like, they make a power ranking or something like that, and they put us as 15 or 30, like,
whatever.
of everybody. But I think that's how it is, and I think it motivates you as a player. Personally, me as a player, also the away game against Salt Lake, where the fans was whistling at me, like going for a corner and stuff like that. It's motivating me, and I think, like, the group we have here, it's early days still, but that feeling I think we had after our training camp in Coachella with the last friendly game against New York, was the game where we really were, okay, this is like we can really
Pressure was a little
yeah,
bit. You started
we
clicking.
can build on
and,
this,
yeah.
and we can see what we can do at the damage to other teams.
Yeah.
And then I think we want to do what we can as best as possible, and with their fans in our back, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah. Also in Salt Lake, there were fans there, and it's just amazing. And it's right now we're just hungry for more, and we want to prove every match day
You've
that
done it. I mean,
that
like,
we can take points.
Coming back from a goal down. They haven't maybe played a high press possession team. You play Columbus, and now you guys prove that you can hang, right? Just moments like that. It's cool to see you guys checking all those boxes, you know, and game after game, those little milestones that you keep etching, and just gives you guys more confidence.
Yeah,
it
gives us confidence to like building and building, and still when we watch the game back, we still have things to improve.
Yeah,
and that's the most important, that we work on that out here, and then we want to show you guys and the fans and everybody else in the MLS that we can do it. And we have a lot of trust in the group staff, so it's nice.
Personally for you, I mean, you have the first goal, obviously the first brace. You've also been the first MLS player for to have 2 game winners in their first 3 games if it's an expansion club. A lot of firsts for you. Player of the match day on your first game in the MLS. What does that mean for you and your career personally, as well as what have you seen from like the response of the fan base and supporting you through that?
It means a lot. And first of all, it wasn't possible if I didn't have my teammates. That's the most important for me as a player, that my teammates, they know me and I know them. And I think in the quick preseason we had and I had with the team was to build relations with everybody, because we need everybody. And that's just, right now we just want to keep going. And of course myself to feel that can you say love from the fans and the outside is of course amazing, and just around in the city also when you walk and stuff like that. It's nice that we help the city. I don't know, help the city, but
sure.
But we want to put San Diego on that map and be known as a nice place to play football, and the way we play football, to be known as a team that really play nice football is. That's a key thing.
Has there been a response or a moment that's been surprising to you? Anybody fun reach out?
No, I don't. I think there's been a lot of people reaching out, and like I'm from a small city in Denmark, and I like it, but it's nice to get the message for sure. But I know football can go quick, and I just enjoy every moment and have done it since the first game of the season.
So I wanted to touch on something you're saying, that you feel the love amongst the team and from the city and all. You guys have a trophy that's given that you give for, was it every training, every week or so?
Yeah, it's like when we have competitive trainings, like today with small-sided games and stuff like that. We're finding a winner, a winning team, and it's nice to put competition into training, because we're football players. We want to win every day, and to make it competition in trainings, because we need that when it's game day. That we need to win the tackle. We need to make the right pass, the right shot. So we have a small trophy for winners.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, you play how you train, right?
Exactly.
You're training right onto the field. So
exactly.
Being competitive, I mean, I was a defender, so I was a forward. So I'm gonna go in hard. So at times you think that, like, I mean, in trainings you get some hard tackles in. Out there on the training field, but at the same time it's all respect. But either way, the harder they play, the better you play, and you guys both just grow from it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think also the trainings we have where we're playing 11 against 11, it's difficult because the way we play in San Diego, and it's every player. that play that way. It's we know how difficult it is to press, and if we can make that as competitive as possible, and we bring that into the game, we know we're in a good position.
And isn't it funny in those 11v11 games too? Like the second team is always playing carefree, pressing, trying so hard, and the first team just getting yelled at. It's not good enough.
Dribble around in the back and making the diagonal and stuff like that.
You got college kids doing like dribbling 6 guys. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but it's good, and it's the way it should be, like with competitive trainings, because as you said, you train, you play how you train.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a slight question though.
Go.
So just a little bit outside the soccer field. You know, you're enjoying San Diego on and off the pitch. So I heard you like Counterstrike.
Yeah, I do.
So I got a couple questions for you. You ranked?
I am.
Huh?
I am.
What's your rank?
Is it the matchmaking or face it?
I don't think Marv knows.
Matchmaking. Okay.
Tell us.
I think I have around 16,000 points.
Okay.
I think it's decent.
It is decent.
It is.
Oh, that's a couple.
I haven't played for a long time because
now you haven't played
I
for a
haven't
long
got
time.
my stuff over yet.
Okay.
And I just 6 months ago I had a boy with my wife,
congratulations.
and
So you're
thank
already-
you. So
You're planning
Not
your
a lot of time.
retirement from
Planning to find,
Counterstrike because you're having kids.
I need
couple
to-
more and you're done.
yeah,
Trust me. I used to
I
play
want
Modern
to
Warfare.
find the space and time to play, but it's getting more difficult. I have a lot of Danish friends in Denmark, and they are a little bit pissed on me because I can't play. And
You carry
also
the team?
with the not carry, but
He's
one of
letting
the
his
main
squad down.
He doesn't want to call anyone out.
Yeah, and then they with the time difference,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
9-10 hours. So it's getting a little bit difficult, but hopefully I can find a way to play some Counter-Strike.
Get back in there. All right,
Yeah.
man.
Where have you been? So you're just now moving everything in from now been here a few months. Are you where in the city have you been? Enjoyed any places or?
I like to explore cities where I'm at, and I've been in downtown, but I'm also like right now I'm living in Pacific Beach, and so I like the area PB and La Jolla
Yeah, of
a
course.
lot to walk around and just chill, have a coffee, and on
Love
days
that.
off.
Yeah.
And with the weather, it's so nice with walking around in a t-shirt, and you don't need to have a lot of clothes with like my boy don't need to be packed in all of different.
Except for last
Yeah.
week, right?
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's nice, and we enjoy it a lot. We do.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We really do.
For those who don't know, kind of give us a little bit of a background on where you've been. Quite different from landscape from San Diego.
Yeah.
Just give us a little overview on what your career has been like and where all you've lived. And
But first of all, I started my career in a team called SDFC in Denmark, and went down with them. Then we promoted, and in that season I was doing pretty well and was sold to Brighton in England. I was in Brighton for half a year, and then I went on loan to Scotland for half a year until the summer. And then the new season starts. Went on another loan to Holland, Heerenveen. And then it was January 2020. I went back to Denmark. Like to, how do you say it? Like kickstart the career again. Like get some minutes, play a lot, and we were doing great. And in Midtjylland, the team I came from, and then we won the championship in Denmark. The year I came back, the next year we played the Champions League and have a lot of like nice memories. Of course, it was COVID at that time, so playing away against Liverpool and Ajax without fans was not so nice, but it was still nice.
Yes.
But missed a little bit. And then in 2022, I was, or 21, I was sold to Russia. And then, of course, something happened in Ukraine and stuff like that. And I went back again to Denmark, to Midtjylland, and played there for a year. And then 2 years ago, I went to Anderlecht in Belgium. I was there for 2 years, had an amazing time in Anderlecht, and But of course, sometimes as a footballer, maybe like then you feel at some points the roads have to split and
ready for the next.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was so happy that San Diego, and I know the project Right to Dream from Nordsjælland, which I played a lot of times against, and the way they play has always been a way I was looking at and thinking, wow, that must be fun, to play that way of football. And and then this opportunity came, and it was a no-brainer, and now I'm here. It sounds like I'm maybe 33 years old, but I'm still 26, and I tried a lot, and it's also now when I look at it, but still time flies. It goes quick, and I'm just enjoying every day. And as Mikey always say, like waking up in the morning and just look in the mirror and think like you're a footballer and that's the best job in the world. It's so important, and I think that's a thing to really think about because I'm not 21.
But you remember, right? It goes.
But
fast,
I remember
so.
as a 21 years old. But enjoy every day, literally, and just be happy because being a footballer is the best job in the world, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
So you talked about Mikey. Is his whole process like, the theme of SDFC is flow. Like you want to flow, you want to be happy, you want to go with things. So in the locker room, does he try to have the guys on and off the pitch just kind of be grateful, but at the same time try to bring their best no matter what they do, where they go, and whatever opportunities arise?
Yeah, no, listen, I think Mikey have done a very, very good job on this time of a period with a new team, and just the way we he's handling the situations like before games, after games. I like that. That also he can be tough if things are not good enough. Because I know we played Columbus Crew, but we still were in the dressing room maybe a little bit disappointed not getting 3 points. Not only because they had the red card, but still before that we created a lot of chances, and still that he comes in and can be a little bit tough about that, and always wants to do better. I really like that. So you don't have a coach who is satisfying because we haven't lost and stuff like that. But we want more every day, and that's also why I think the trophy is important. We have in training to bring that in and to embrace the competition, which is important.
He would kind of have to be kind of tough because, as Sals and I were talking, when we watch you guys play, we see the traps that you set, and we see you guys work as a unit, as well as you being a forward, being a winger, being able to go up and down all the time, and being able to score late. It sounds like either through your whole career, your whole process, knowing that things take time, and sometimes not everything's going to go your way. You'll get traded here. You got to mix and match and things. Yeah. Seems like in the heart of SDFC is work as a unit and keep fighting till the very end. Yeah,
exactly. And I think the word you use, the unity, is so important because the way we want to play, we need to be that. And it's in the build-up, but it's especially also in our press. When we want to go high, we have to be a unity. We have to go together as one. And if you do that, because when people start to think the same way, it's going to be difficult to play against us. And I think we've shown that, but we still have things to improve. Of course, we want to win at home. Sure. It's one thing, but still, it's there are things to improve, and just aiming for more and more. It's a nice feeling to be here every day and aiming for a new thing. And now it's Austin next time.
Perfect.
Yeah, for me, that's the most impressive thing. Is kind of what you touched on. Is like when a team goes down, right? How many teams have you been a part of? Where it's just like, we lost. Like you literally, and you know it. And so that's what's been cool to see is like, even the first 30 minutes against Columbus, it wasn't going your guys' way, but you guys just kept grinding and grinding. And then you get the tying goal and then you're grinding. And it looked like the mentality of, a culture that sometimes takes years to build.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see that within the first 4 games. And to go a little bit more off of like the tactics part of Columbus, like so the first 30 minutes they were playing well.
Yeah, it's a good team.
Yeah.
It really is a good
And then
team.
and then SDFC was starting to kind of go at like a little bit more behind.
Yeah.
They were high pressing, and then you guys started seeing the space. Was that something you guys recognized and then talked about at halftime? Like, hey, they're pushing super high.
Yeah.
We got to get behind their back line. Was that something that?
And I think that was a feeling on the pitch as well. That and I think that's a good thing. Like that we show that if people is really want to put pressure on us to get the ball, then we go in behind.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to have that. And we spoke about it in the halftime that if they do it, we go in behind.
Yeah.
And we continue to do it. And then the red card came. We get a lot of big chances, and we could get more, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no matter how the game was going, it always appeared that SDFC, you guys never panicked. It always looked like, okay, that happened, but don't worry, we have the ball, we're in control.
Yeah.
You guys seem to dominate possession quite a bit. Is that kind of key as opposed to going in behind?
Yeah, I think so. But also to attract them out of their positions, and then sometimes it's me dropping low, but maybe a lot of times against Columbus, I was staying high to go in behind to stretch them, and then we could find other players in behind. So it's a mix, and that's also the philosophy that if they really want to do that, then we just use in behind and go from there. And I think also that it's quick how we build that culture about not panicking when you go 1-0 down.
There's expansion teams, I'm telling you, for 2-3 years, they're just like struggling to like even get an identity. And so obviously the Right to Dream part of it all helped get that quickly. And then, a lot of Danish players playing together that have all played together, that style. So it's been really, honestly, really impressive to see.
Very.
Because from a watcher, I'm watching the first game and I don't know what the expectations are. You guys can talk all you want. SDFC can talk all they want. But when you see it firsthand and you go, okay, first game, well done. And then it's just like game after game, it's been like, okay, they did the next test.
Really
What's the next?
Yeah.
It's been cool to see.
Yeah,
really.
and I think, that's just, it's also maybe surprising me a little bit that like the things that went so quick. But now when we're sitting here and talking about it after 4 games, and I have the feeling I played with them for half a year, or even more, and it's amazing how the staff and everybody around the club have been helping with that togetherness. And you can just feel the energy out here that everybody is just excited and ready for more.
Well said. Well, we're excited that you are our first podcast guest that we have had on the official SDFC podcast. So, Anders, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
And we appreciated it.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, Anders.
you.
Appreciate it, man. Nice to meet you.
You too.